Okay, let's start recording YouTube channel. Thank you for coming my YouTube channel, Calvino. I'm very glad to having this conversation.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, and I want to introduce my friend Calvino a little. Calvino is going to enter Hult MBA program. Can you watch this t-shirt? My t-shirt is a Hult t-shirt. Hult is MBA school, and there are many campus all over the world. And I'm staying in Hult San Francisco campus now. And today I broadcast this YouTube channel from Hult San Francisco campus. Calvino, where are you staying now?
I'm currently in Switzerland. Um,
Oh, Switzerland, yeah.
yes,
There are huge time difference now.
yes, it's very big, the time difference. I think it's about 8 to 9 hours.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time. Okay. Okay, let's Calvin, you stay in Switzerland. Probably you are from Switzerland, but where are you from?
Yes, so my
Yeah.
roots, my origins, they are like in
Yeah.
West Africa.
Oh, I
It is
see.
in Angola, a West African country.
Okay.
There we speak Portuguese, and I came to Switzerland with my family. I think I was around 8 or 9, something like that.
I see.
And most of my life I've been here. So sometimes when I travel to Angola,
Yeah.
people don't think that I am Angolan because I behave differently. I speak different. I talk different. So even though that my roots are in Angola,
Okay.
I'm maybe like from the inside, I'm not 100% Angolan anymore.
I see. I see. Calvin, can you speak two languages, English and your native language.
Um, yes, I think I speak 4 or 5 languages.
Really?
Uh,
Four?
yes.
Very smart person. 4 or 5.
Yeah.
What language can you speak?
Well, the first language I learned in my life, even though that I
Yeah,
come from a Portuguese-speaking country, it was French.
yeah.
My mother learned French during the wartime because Angola had like about 30 years of civil war.
Okay,
And when my mother was still a child, their parents
okay.
they went to Congo, the neighbor country, to
I
flee
see.
from the war. And there they used to speak French. She learned French, and when they came back to Angola,
Okay.
when she had us, she only spoke with us in French. So that's how I learned French. And at school, I learned Portuguese because at home
Okay.
we only spoke French. At school, I learned Portuguese, and there is one more language that I actually learned through my mother.
Okay.
It's called Lingala because in Congo there are like several native languages
I see.
that are spoken, and one of them is Lingala. So I learned French and Lingala from my mother. And when I came to Switzerland, I
Okay.
learned German, and
Okay.
then I learned English as well.
Why can you learn several language? I want to know. You have to use all these languages. I can speak Japanese. Japanese is my native language, and I'm
Mhm.
improving my English now. So my I can speak only two foreign languages, but you can 4 or 5 languages. Why can you learn several languages?
Well, I'd say one factor it is that I started very young. I
Okay.
mean, if you are young, you can think. I think that you learn them very fast.
Yeah.
They stick out also very fast. But the second reason is that I think because I speak Portuguese and French, and even though I don't really speak well Italian and Spanish, I understand it because it's very
uh,
similar to French, and very similar
I
to
see.
Portuguese. So if you go back like in history, you will see
Yeah,
that most of these languages they come from the same place.
I
And
see. I see.
oftentimes, when people are talking, for example, German, they're talking English,
Okay.
because I already have a background of some languages. Sometimes they're like something that cross, and then understand it, and then it makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, I figured out the more languages you can, then the easier it is to get like to learn new ones. But
Oh, think. Yeah.
there is like a huge but, and I'm actually trying to learn Japanese
Oh,
because
really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because I love manga, I love anime,
Okay.
and I hate it when when I'm watching, for example, One Piece, and I always need to read the captions. So I just want to
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at it and focus on the image.
Okay.
And I made a subscription at Duolingo
Okay.
for that, and I realized, even though there are some things that I already know, because like for oh, can you still
Okay.
hear me?
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
can listen your voice. Oh,
uh,
please speak.
okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I had like a small disturbance on my computer. Yeah.
No
So
problem.
yeah, because of like, I mean, I've been watching animes and reading mangas ever since I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old. Like the first thing was Dragon Ball, and
Cool.
and yeah, a few words and a few sentences stuck with me. So if I
Okay.
hear them, I understand them,
Okay.
but I don't have the notion of the logical construction of the sentences yet. So when I started
Yeah.
doing Duolingo and about one book as well, I
Yeah.
started to understand that logical construction of sentences in Japanese is totally different. Is a new word to English, French, Spanish, and everything else. So
Yeah.
in this regard, I'm having a little bit a harder time to learn than with the other one, because the other one they always had like things where you could connect, but Japanese is like learning everything from scratch.
Thank you for telling me, and thank you for trying to learn our native language, Japanese. I'm very glad. And you told me our Japanese construction is very, very different English.
Yes.
So for Japanese people to learn English is very hard mode like you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very glad to listen your challenge. Yeah, thank you. Okay. And next question, Calvino, what do
Hmm.
you do in Switzerland now?
Ooh, I do a lot of things. Maybe I should go a little bit back, like in my background, um, because I think what I do now is based, or yeah, it has the roots like in my childhood. I told you that
Uh,
I came to Switzerland when I was like 8 or 9,
okay,
and when we came here, like my mother, my parents, they didn't really had like how can I say, good jobs, right? We didn't have the opportunity, and I even remember back then when my colleagues at school, they went to the cinema, watching movies. They went, I don't know, somewhere just buying stuff. I couldn't do that. Like my parents couldn't afford that. So since from a young age, I learned,
okay,
okay, I need to work for things. I started working regularly, even though I was at school. I always had something. Sometimes I went like pet sitting at a neighbor's house. Sometimes I went to the farmer, helping with the animals and etc. So ever since my teenage years until now, I'm always working, 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 working.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Even with the university, because my
okay,
parents couldn't pay. Even though I must say, like in Switzerland, we don't have this issue like in United States, that you have like these huge unpayable fees for school. But still you need to pay something. And not even that, my parents, because of the situation, they couldn't afford. So I was always working for that. Yeah, and I was working, working, working. At one point, I told myself, because I didn't know my godfather,
okay,
I got to know him because back then I used to play football or soccer, how people call it in United States. And we had something we called like sponsor marathon, and it was an event where you could go and run, and for each lap that you made, your sponsors paid you a specific amount of money. And every year I went like in my village, and I knocked at the doors and asked the people, hey, we are doing this event at our football club. Do you want to be my sponsor? And I met my godfather like that. I went to their house and knocked, hey, can you guys sponsor me? And he gave me like 100 francs, like around, where everyone else just gave me like only a few cents, only 1 franc, only 5 cents, stuff like that. And I was like, wow, 100 francs, that's much. I was so thankful because um, that sponsor marathon with the money, it helped us like to pay some certain things like at our football club. So I
Mm.
was so thankful to him, and I went back and I was like, hey, because of you, I was able to afford some things at a football club. If you want, I can help you with anything. I can help you like with your garden, or if you have something else, just call me. And then he was like, hey, I have an idea. Uh, I have a I have some tasks for you, and I'm going to pay you. So I started working part time while going at school at the same time, and I never really knew that he was an entrepreneur. I
Yeah, I
just
see.
I just saw his lifestyle. He was very free. He was doing whatever he wanted, and I was like, what is this guy doing? I never really realized that he's an entrepreneur. The word entrepreneur, business, all of this thing, I didn't know. So he was just doing, and from him, I'm learned as well just doing. I just started doing things. Back then, I started importing things like from China, like smartphone gadgets, stuff like that, and selling it online. So that's how it started. So I just kept doing. And then at one point after high school, a friend of mine told me, hey, let's do something together. And then there was when I created my first startup with him.
Cool.
Yeah, to jump from there to now, because otherwise like it's a big story. um, we sold that company 2 years before COVID.
Cool.
And during that company, I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things. So I understood that I was very naive as a young man. There are still a few stuff that I need to learn. As the company was growing fast, but still, several times we almost went bankrupt. Not because we were not making money, but because we were not able to plan money. You know, we were not able to plan stuff. So there were a lot of things that we didn't really know how to manage it quite in the right way. After that, I said, okay, you know what? I will continue building projects. I will continue building products, but I understand I still have like a lot to learn. So that's why I went on studying. Um, I did business administration, a bachelor in business administration. I did a bachelor in web development to learn how to code myself as well, because programming was like a huge part as well for my first startup. We had like big issues because of that. So I said, okay, next time I need to be able to do it myself.
Okay.
And yeah, and from there I started just building things from the side, and at the same time working like at a corporate job, gaining experience, hoping that the next time that one of my projects get big, or if I really say, okay, I want to quit the job and go 100% in a startup, um, that I have more experience.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I see. But
yeah.
there are many exciting events in your life, Carvino. And I listened to your story. Um, you started your business very from early age. I started my business when I was a university student. I met
Hmm.
entrepreneur who is good at running company and sell many companies to
Hmm.
Japanese listed company. I met him when I was 20 years old. After that, my life is changing. It's a little similar story. You met a great person. He
Mhm.
was entrepreneur, and you learned how to run business and how to communicate with other people. I think, but your age is earlier than me, so yeah, it's very good thing, and your story is impressive. Uh, Thank you for telling me.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, I'm very glad to listen your story. And okay, okay. Uh, but Calvino, I want to ask you again. First time, when did you start to work? At 9 or 10?
Yeah, I think my first job that I had in Switzerland,
Yeah.
it was at 10 or 11. It was at a
Yeah, 10 or
farmer's.
11. Yes, yes. I
Yes.
listened to your story. So 10. It's so early. When I was 10 years old, I played outside, so running or playing basketball and so on. So it's very different situation. But
Well, well,
yeah,
I did that as well. I did that as well, but that was like some reserved time to earn some pocket money. So
okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you started very early time as an entrepreneur, and thank you. And it's very similar situation. I have to pay my tuition when I was a university student.
Hmm.
My family is not so wealthy. My father only graduated from junior high school, so I have to earn money and I have to pay my tuition to go to University of Tokyo. So yeah, but only university. Other tuition, high school, junior high school, and so on. My parents helped, and I go to the school that don't require tuition for free or something.
Okay.
And
I see.
I was smart in Japan. You too, I think you too. Yeah, yeah. But our family don't have money. Yeah. Okay.
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 Similar circumstances.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Next question. Calvino, next
Hmm.
question. You, I want to know concrete information about your business.
Hmm.
Now you did many business, but now, what do you do your business now?
Yeah. Okay. Um, my situation is quite complicated, if I may say.
Yeah, I know.
It's complicated because I do a lot. Um, I think 2 years ago during COVID,
Okay.
um, I started like to network because one friend of mine, that went with me in the university when I learned like software programming. He has like a huge network like with others software programmers. And 2 years ago, he started introducing me to that network. And there, for the first time, I saw how can I say I learned about solopreneurship, right? Like people that do entrepreneurship alone, or maybe in small teams. So it was a new concept for me, and I started asking them. And there was, for example, one guy that is now a friend of mine as well. Um, he had several businesses, but he was doing it all alone. I was like, how does that work? Because in my mind was always, if you have a business, you need to have like a huge team, like Facebook, Google, Apple. But they started introducing me to that concept, solopreneurship, that you could have like a digital product that is scalable, and as long as you have enough traffic and you know how to manage it by yourself, you don't really need that huge team, and as well you don't really need to make like several millions of revenue each year, because if you are alone, even if you're just making 200,000 a year for one person, that's enough revenue to cover your costs. But if you
Yeah.
have like 10 people, or let's say 50 people, and you're making
I know.
200,000, it's not enough. And I was like, this is interesting. And the approach of that guy is that every year he creates like a certain amount of digital products,
Okay.
right? And then he releases it, and then he lets it just stay. For example, last month he started working at a project that he created in 2016. And I asked him, why are you doing that? He said, I'm just creating the project, and I let them be. And at one point, I'm lucky, people are going to start to look for that on Google. And if you see that the traffic is high enough, only then he prioritizes his project. So he has like a lot of projects, but he doesn't touch them. He only touches them when he see traffic is coming. And sometimes it takes years until traffic comes. But then when it comes, he makes money. So then I said to another friend of mine, why don't we do the same? Because my specialty is front end and design, and this
Okay.
specialty is backend. He's very good in backend. So let's work together. And ever since we started like releasing like several things, we released something called Remote Scout, a job board that is focused here in the German-speaking region, meaning Switzerland, Germany, Austria, and Liechtenstein,
Yeah.
and several others. But I won't mention the others because they're not working very well right now. But Remote Scout is running. We are growing every month. So now we said we're going to focus 100% on Remote Scout, uh, and let the other projects be, because Remote Scout is the one growing fast.
Yeah.
Apart from that, the other major project that I would say that I have is one called Travel Afrique. That one I created after my first exit that I was talking about, and ever since I've been like building it like from like a side job,
Okay.
because I was very unlucky. I started that project uh, exactly then when Corona hit. Like, we released today, tomorrow it was the news. Oh, a new virus, and they were like, yeah. So the following 2 years, they weren't funny. We didn't really make any money, but since last year it started to grow. So we're gonna see where it's gonna take us. But this year we already made some substantial amount of money. And I think if it keeps going like this, it can be that maybe by the beginning of next year, we might make enough revenue like to hire a team and whatever. Yes, so Remote Scout and Travel Africa are like the primary project that I have.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me. And uh, your business field and human resource field and travel field. And I sold my company. My company name was Codil. Codil is focusing on remote worker in Japan. So I'm very familiar with this business field, and I love travel. I haven't been to Africa yet, but I want to go to Africa, and travel service is growing up now. It is because COVID-19 effect are closed, so it's very good occasion. And the remote work is brought it to all over the world. Affected by COVID. COVID-19 effect is not so good, not a good thing. But uh, business environment is changed by COVID,
Mhm.
I think.
Yes.
So I have sushi restaurant in Japan, but while we have COVID effect, it's very difficult to grow up our sushi business. But
Hmm.
now it's chance travel and food business or something. Yeah, I think so. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, it's very interesting. You do business. Okay, gotcha. Mm. And Calvino, I want to ask you one question. Now you don't have trouble. to how to collect money. It is because you sold the company and you have some business, profitable business. But when you started business for the first time, maybe you don't have money. How did you get your first money to invest your first business?
To be honest, I've never have gotten money from anyone. So
Oh,
every
what's me?
yeah.
What's me? Okay,
So
okay. Please tell me.
everything I've done so far, it was always bootstrapped. Maybe I can tell a little bit more about the first company. The first company was called iPaster. It was like a let's say a platform where people could book like professional cleaners for their private home. And when we started, actually in the beginning, we didn't start as iPaster, but we started like a normal cleaning company. And what we did is just like, I think we bought we made like with Microsoft Paint, we made our logo with Microsoft Paint. Then we
Okay,
bought like 500 flyers, 300 to 500 flyers. I think that was only around maybe 80 Swiss francs, something like that.
okay,
And we had that small pocket for that. And then we went
okay.
around the town and distributed the flyers everywhere. And from
Oh,
those flyers, we got our first customers. And in the beginning was just like a normal cleaning company because we didn't know what to do. We were looking for business ideas, and we knew a lot of people that worked like in the cleaning area. And then we said, you know what? Let's do something in cleaning because we know a lot of people that work in the cleaning area. So then we did that, and for the first few jobs, we went ourselves and we cleaned ourselves. So we didn't have employees; we were the employees. We cleaned, and very soon we realized that oh, cleaning is not just cleaning. You need to know how to clean, and uh, and there are various types of cleaning. So at one point, one of the customers told us, "Hey, you know what? I have a company. I want someone to be cleaning at our company. Can you guys do that?" And then at that point, we hired our first cleaner, and she then started working at our company. And she was so good that that customer, she started referring us to other colleagues. So uh, in a few months, we had like a few business customers. So when we realized that business customers are easier, we started focusing only on business customers. And yeah, and for a few months, for I think even 1 year, we didn't do
okay,
anything anymore. We just let the company run. There was some money coming in, some pocket money, and that's it. The company wasn't growing anymore. We just had like 3, 5 customer, and that's it. My friend then at one point he asked me and said, "Why did we create the company if you're not growing the company? Let's do more." So the question was, okay, what are we going to do? How can we do it? What does more mean? And a lot of customers they were saying, "Hey, it would be great if we could have a similar service, but as well, like for the private, for the for their own homes." And we started talking to them. We started realizing what are the issues that they have because we thought, okay, there should already be a company providing services for private people. There were, but they weren't satisfied. So we started talking to them to realize why are they unsatisfied. And major issues appeared. Like one of the major pain points, it was that there's like trust issues. You just don't let anybody come to your home. You need to trust them.
okay, okay.
And most of the companies they had a system like Uber that today this cleaner comes to your home and the next day another cleaner comes. So you always need to rebuild the trust, and people didn't like that. But yeah, this was like one of the major several issues. After we realized what the issues that the customer had, we said, you know what? We have actually already clean professional cleaners. They are trained. Our customers already know us, so they trust us. So let's use our professional cleaners and send them to the customers. So meaning when the people booked services, actually they didn't have like a contract with our cleaners. The contract was still with us. So it means they were employed with us. Because all the other companies, if you book the cleaner, it means you need to employ the cleaner. All the risk is in your end, you as a customer. You need to provide like contract, like for the government. You need to make sure that taxes are paid, insurance, etc., etc. And we realized all that, and then we said, okay, it's easier if you just send our cleaners, and they're still employed with us, and we solved all of the problems actually there. And from there, it started growing like crazy. In 1 to 2 years, we reached like 1 million in revenue. We were like in half of Switzerland, and we weren't even doing real marketing. It was just all all word of mouth. Yeah, so that's how we actually grew it. Just like good service. We understood what the pains of the customer were, and we never really went beyond what we can do, because nowadays most startups, when they start, they always seek like for investment. While they're working, they don't know if their business model is going to work out or not.
Okay.
But in our case, we worked until it worked out, and then it started growing by itself. Even at one point, there were people that wanted to invest, and then we said we don't want, because we weren't happy with the amount they wanted to invest, and the amount of equity they wanted to get in return.
Okay. That you are good at making business, profitable business, I think. And if uh, entrepreneur try to start, and after that improving and improving and improving, uh, it's not necessary collect some money. And
It
if
it it depends. It depends,
yeah,
because if I look back now, at one
yeah,
point of the company, if we got money, it wouldn't have been bad. It would have been good, because we wanted to grow. Back then, I
okay,
didn't know, but now I know growth needs investment. And
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah,
told you before, if you remember, right?
yeah.
Several times we almost went bankrupt because we didn't plan things. There were things we didn't know. We were so young. And one of them is that we didn't know that growth needs money. Even though we were making money,
Yeah,
we were growing so fast that we didn't
yeah,
have like liquid, because you need to imagine, every
yeah,
month at the last day of the month, we had to pay our cleaners.
yeah.
But imagine the stupidity, how stupid we were. Uh, we send invoices to customers and we tell them, hey, you guys have 1 month to pay,
Yeah.
meaning the money is going to come next month, but we need to pay our cleaners now. And every
Okay.
month we were growing like 30 to 50%. So it means
Yeah.
that at the end of the month, even though in the accounting, if you went there with like, oh, we made revenue, the liquidity was missing because the money is physically only coming next month.
Yeah.
So at one point, it got
Yeah.
so dire that we almost went bankrupt. Yeah,
Yeah.
even though we were
Okay.
growing.
Cash flows problem. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
because
understand.
because we were growing too fast. So in that instance, it would have made sense either to try to manage the growth, like to say, okay, we can take in as much customers like that, or we
Okay.
get investment to support the growth.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for telling.
Yeah.
Okay. And Calvino, you did many business already, but how did you find your team member for the first time? When you start some projects,
Hmm.
how do you find your coworker?
Yeah. For me, for each project, it's different. Obviously, the first time when I did the project, I passed it. Like I said, we were very naive. We were young, so my friend was interested in doing business. I was interested to do business. We just did it. So
Okay,
we didn't really look into more specific stuff. We just said, okay, let's do it. But after that experience,
okay,
when before doing something, I need to get to know the person,
okay,
because I realize business is like marriage. No.
Yeah,
Business is,
it's good sentence. Business like marriage.
yes. So if you marry the wrong person,
Okay.
you're going to be miserable for a long time, unless you say, okay, you know what, we're going to get divorced.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that experience, I learned a lot. I learned, okay, before doing something with someone, you need to get to know them, but as well, after you get to know them and you think like, you can do some, you like them as a personality, as a person. The second thing is like, do they have passion for what we are doing? Because I've worked in the past like with people, like for example, one project that I had back then before I pastored, it was a blog called Success Field,
Okay.
entrepreneurial motivational blog. And the people I was working with, from like, they were great people, like personality wise, great people. But when it came to the product itself, like pushing the project, some of them, they weren't pushing as much. And I realized, okay, just having a good character, just having a good personality is not enough. So you need to have passion as well. Because if you have passionate people in the team, they are going to be automatically driven, and they're
Mhm.
going to work for the project. So they're not working with you, they're not working for you, but they're working with you at something they believe in. So yeah, that's what I learned, to look at these two things. And because of that, if you look at my projects, if I were to list all of the projects I've done so far, you are going to see that each project has like different people, because I believe, okay, this guy is maybe a good guy, but he's not burning for this project, so I'm not going to do it with him. And the same approach, I follow it for myself, because people always ask myself, oh, how did you choose remote scout, like job board? How did you choose
Yeah.
travel? And I personally, I don't look like at what area I'm doing. I just look, okay, does the problem interest me enough? Am I passionate enough? And and then I actually don't care if I have like enough knowledge in that area,
Okay.
because I'm someone that's from nature. I'm very, very curious. I'll be learning about that subject until I feel comfortable and even know more. So that's how I go. But the beginning is really just having passion for that topic.
How do you know some person have passion or not?
You see it. You see it. Like I think there's a saying that goes like, um, talking is cheap, uh, doing is gold. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it goes somewhat like that. And if someone is passionate, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it in that they give more that they would usually do in a normal project or in another situation. You see them like doing over hours and saying, "Oh, it's fun. Oh, I like this. Oh, these are like points showing you, okay, this person is passionate." But in my experience, if you're not passionate, you come, you maybe if we say, okay, we need to do like at least like 3 hours, you do the 3 hours, then you're home. But all the people that I know that are passionate, they do more than just if we say 3 hours, they do more than 3 hours, because they are so convinced of the vision, the product, and whatever we are doing, right, that they invest more than that.
Yeah, I think so too. Uh, Calvino, do you choose uh, some person whom you want to work for a long time? It is it necessary to do something with them, or having an interview? Okay, let's try to work with me, and you invite the person. Which one do you like? Having some small project and decide uh, making good relationship for a long time, or having some interview process and try to contract with them. Which one?
Mhm. So It depends a lot on the situation. What I mean by
Okay.
that, so what I mean by that is that, for example, when it comes to having like a partner, like a co-founding partner, or someone that is at the management level,
Okay.
oftentimes I'm a little bit more pickier. I'm a little bit more pickier because um, I think, because I know I'm a very driven guy, and in the last few years, I understood that my drive sometimes scares other people, because if I believe in something, I work like a maniac. I'm just working, working, and
Me too.
and I made peace with myself, because back then I used to expect the same thing from the others. But then I said, no, I can't expect that from everyone. So I need to make peace with myself that if I am the one working the most, that's fine. It's my choice. Um, but nevertheless, I think if you are a co-founding partner, there needs to be like a certain level of commitment, especially, of course. I mean, if you have less equity or whatever, it's okay. But if we are like starting with 50-50, it needs to be somewhat fair. Like, I look at that. But apart from that, for example, at Travel Afrique, we are like three co-founding partners. We have like a late co-founder. For him, he got, because he was a late co-founder, he got like less equity. But at the same time, it really didn't need us like, okay, we need to meet like several times, like be very intimate. We made like a few interviews. We met as well.
Okay.
But what I told him is that, okay, you know what? For me, it's just important that the team accepts you, that you can work with the team, um, but as well that you bring in results. I mean, if you bring that, I'm fine with that. So we made like 3 months of probation to see how it works, and everyone liked it. And I said, okay, now you are like 100% in the team. So
Yeah.
I'm more meticulous when it comes like really the first person I'm starting with, but then the more the company goes on, then it starts to get easier, because my belief is, the first people, that are the foundation of the company. So you can imagine you have like pillars as foundation, and if these first 2 or 3 people are very shaky, and if you put something on top, it's gonna break. So that's why, like, for the first people that are starting, that have like equal equity, I'm more meticulous than to the people that come afterwards.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me. Case by case, but it's very important thing to be careful to choose founders. And founder and employee different
Yeah,
role. Yeah, very different role. If I choose some employee, I can have opportunity to work some employees. It's okay it's okay to work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
yeah,
and yes, and making the process, and I ask them to execute and to improving little by little. But co-founder is different. Please sharing our passion and sharing our vision and try to find um, how to solve this problem.
hmm,
Please think about how to solve this problem. Please think with me, and something
yes,
is very important thing. Yeah.
yes.
So I think it's very difficult to find founder. How do you think about Calvino?
Yes, in the beginning, it was really hard to find co-founders, to
Yes.
be honest.
Yeah.
Um, but at least in my case, I would assume now it got easier, because over
Oh.
the years, I was able to build like a network,
Okay.
and through this network that I built and I'm still building now, especially through Halt, there are certain opportunities always arising. I mean, now even so much opportunity that I have to say no because I need to focus. Even I can't be working everywhere, so I need to focus. But the network, it was really important. Was really important because before I had the same issues. Where can I find someone that is driven? Where can I find the right guy? Where can I find the right person? But ever since that I've been improving my network, that has been
Yeah.
getting easier day by day.
Okay. Yeah. When I started my business, it was very difficult to find a co-founder and to collect money. I don't have money at the time, but uh, in Japan, it's easy to find some co-founder. You told me I have many connections and I have many people whom I can trust.
Hmm.
So it's easy. But in the US, a little difficult for me now. So I decided to come to San Francisco, and I will go to Hult, and I started to make sushi club in San Francisco. It is because if we have sushi party in San Francisco, um, me and our sushi club members can make good relationship in San Francisco. But Calvino, um, do you participate in Hult MBA program? But is it correct to participate online?
Yes, I'm participating online right now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
chose the flexible program, so I have the option to be on site or not.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I deliberately chose that option because right now there's like a lot going on, as I told you before.
I know.
So
You told
uh,
me many
yeah,
projects today too.
so I wanted a program that gives me like the flexibility for me to be able to schedule my time at least so that it fits my private things as well. So
Yeah.
that's why I took that. But I think maybe by the end of this year, beginning of last year, I'll be traveling as well. I want to
Yeah.
be on Hult campus, be it like in Boston, San Francisco, London, or Dubai.
Cool. Yeah. I want to see you in person in Boston or in San Francisco and so on. And I decided to make sushi club not only in San Francisco but also other campus. So
Hmm.
so I asked some people to make sushi club in London and in Dubai and in Boston. I have already asked some
Yeah,
members,
you're already
and
expanding.
yeah,
That was fast.
yes, yes, I'm entrepreneur and I'm so fast like you. So yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to making and eating sushi and talking with each other how to make business. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think I'm looking forward to. Okay, Kavino, last question. Last question. Um, I understand you participate in MBA program hybrid style, but
Yes.
why did you decide to participate in MBA program?
Yes, I actually told myself, "Oh, I'm not going to do anything anymore because for 12 years, yeah, for 12, I think 12 years, soon 12 year, I was studying. When I finished high school, I made like 1 year break. I went like to polish my French
Okay,
because I live like in German speaking part of Switzerland. So I said I want to improve my French again. So I did 1 year. And then in 2014, I started studying again. I did like business administration. After business
okay,
administration, then I did like a web development. And web development, I just finished it like in 2021.
okay.
And then I said, I'm not going to do anything anymore. But I think I lied to myself. um, as I told you before, I was thinking about I'm always striving now um, to keep building like my network, right?
Okay.
And I'm at one point that I think it is the right time that I can start to connect with people internationally, because most of my yeah,
Internationally. Yeah.
yes, most people
I
in my
think so too.
network right now, they are like here in Switzerland. I have a few
Yeah.
people like abroad as well, but uh, I can count them like with maybe two, four fingers. And then I said, there might be like other opportunities as well,
Yeah.
because long term as well, I'm thinking about considering opportunities outside of Switzerland as well. And for that, I need to get to know people. I need to get to know other countries better as well. And it took me a little bit of time, because I looked like a lot of MBA programs, but then I found Halt and I said, okay, this is perfect. This is perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing it mainly because of networking. And maybe a second reason,
Okay.
just it could be just like a plan B. So my plan A is still entrepreneurship,
Okay.
but you never know what the future brings, uh
Okay.
so as so I said, if things ever turn differently than I expected them to turn out, I still can go back like in corporate work and earn enough. So, but yeah, reason number one, networking. Reason number two is a plan B, like for the long term.
Thank you for telling me. And you are thinking how to think is very similar situation for me. And I want to make international connection. My
Hmm.
connection is very domestic in Japan. So if I keep running my company and make a company in Japan, uh, it's a little easy game for me. It is. It's because I played this game
Hmm.
uh, for a long time, and I learned a lot, and I have many um, trusted people, but I decided to come here. And Calvino is not necessary to invest your time to improve your English, but I have to improve. I have to invest my time to improve English skill. It is because I'm Japanese. So I have to spend a lot of time.
Hmm.
So improving English and making international connections. Two things I want to try to invest these two things. I decided to come here and I'm spending my time. But it was so fun time for me. Yeah, if I stayed in Japan, I cannot foreign people in Japan. Over 95% people are Japanese, so I cannot meet many foreigners. But
Hmm.
here I can meet people who come from all over the world every day. Yeah,
Hey, it was a good decision.
yeah,
Uh,
it's a good
but, but,
decision. Yeah, okay.
one
What?
one question, but because I
Okay.
mean, you're not long at San Francisco. I mean, you just came maybe 1, 2 months ago.
Yes, 1 month
Yeah,
ago.
one
Only
month
one
ago.
month ago. Yeah.
So even though you're saying you still have to improve your English, but I think you're already speaking a good English. I mean, we are having a conversation. I understand you. Where did you learn that? Was that in
Okay, thank
Japan?
you. Yeah, but honestly, I had lived in Japan 35 years. It's long time, and I don't have occasion to speak English at all.
Hmm.
So I came here 1 month ago. Every day I speak English. So my English skill is improving now day by day. And my English teacher, oh, your English is very good. before coming here, so I'm very glad. I'm trying to improve English, and I speak English as much as possible. I don't use Japanese, and I'm keeping to use English. That's the way. That's my English learning method. Yeah, and I'm talking with you now in English.
Hmm.
All interview, and when we have sushi party, I talk English only.
You're doing it the right way. You're doing it the right way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
so fun. I'm very glad to talk with you in English. If I try to speak Japanese, maybe you cannot understand what I say.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's very important. But you watched anime and manga, and
Yes.
you are a very clever person, so you can understand 20 or 30% in Japanese. Do you try to listen Japanese, my Japanese, and can you understand or not?
I can try, but I don't think, I think 30% is too much. Maybe I only understand
Okay,
5%.
okay. Last message I will tell you in Japanese.
Okay, let's
Uh,
see.
Okay, please try to after you listen my Japanese,
Hmm.
try to tell me what I said in English. In English, okay. Okay.
Okay.
カルミノさん、今日はありがとうございました。ものすごく楽しかったです。また会いましょう。Can you listen?
So you have thanked me for the interview.
Like, correct.
Tanoshi, I know that it's fun. It was
Yes,
fun.
yes.
What did you say at the end again?
Okay. Last sentence. Let's talk again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
but three sentences I told you, but you can understand two sentences. 60%, about 60% you can understand. Awesome.
mhm.
Yes, yeah, you can understand Japanese, so you can speak six language. You can listen and understand six languages. I think. Yeah, awesome.
Japanese, I won't count it yet. I still don't feel comfortable. I will only count it when if I feel comfortable.
Okay. Okay.
Not yet.
Uh, yeah. Thank you, Calvino. I was very fun today. Today too. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Can't wait
Okay. Thank
for
you.
other talks.
Yeah. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye, Taisho.